All right, let's talk about Geno Smith. The guy is on a tear right now, putting up impressive numbers. Did a lot of good stuff against the Lions, in fairness, but still, let's talk about what he did well and what we make of his hot start to this season. Is he legitimately a good quarterback now, or is it just, had a couple good games, but it's a small sample size making him look better? So, first, we're going to start off with this play. These are some plays that he's legitimately brought to the table for Seattle that, I didn't expect from him heading into this season, but this is something he can do and something he can add above what the offense is just getting him. Because, again, okay, if you want to sit here and kind of say, you just played against Detroit, didn't really do too much. Well, a play like this is something where it's not his receivers are getting open. Watch how right when this play begins, you're going to see Smith look down the field. He eventually looks towards his left. He first started off towards his right, nothing was open there. Looks towards his left, nothing is open there. But also, you notice on that side of the field, no Detroit player is looking towards Smith. It was man coverage, as I mentioned earlier. So this means that really, as long as he can get past the defensive lineman, he should be in pretty decent shape to at least pick up some yards here. As you see, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to use his legs and his scrambling ability, actually, to pick up a decent chunk of yards. So listen, I'm not saying the guy's Lamar Jackson or anything, but when you can have these types of plays that are above replacement level plays, right? The replacement level player does not pick up too many yards on this play. When you have the plays where you can actually add value to your football team, that just makes things a lot easier. It allows you to, on a 3rd down and 10, instead of having to give the ball to the other team with 2 red-hot offenses or icy cold defenses, whatever you want to, whichever side you want to say, this gave you an extra possession, which can definitely be, have a huge impact, especially when it ended up being just a 3-point game. Now moving over here, this is another example of, I think, what he did well, where it's going to be a man coverage play. You have a tight end who's going to be running a deep route towards the end zone. There is a safety deep, but, safety deep, probably not going to be paying too much attention to the offense's right, as the offense's left has 2 receivers, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett lined up there. So if there's only one safety deep, probably going to cheat over to the left. So this right side of the field has a good chance, or at least a decent chance, of being open. Watch how right when this play begins, you're going to notice that that is kind of what happens. I mean, the safety does go towards his left, so there you go. But it's a one-on-one matchup, and this is not an easy matchup right here. I mean, there's not a ton of separation. It's not like Smith can just throw it and easily get a catch here, but there still is one thing that he has going for him, a height advantage. The player who Geno Smith is looking towards right now is tight end Will Dissly, who's 6'4", so he's not a monster on a football field, but still is taller than the guy he's going up against, and so throwing the ball up can definitely be a good opportunity to pick up some yards. And as you see, he does just throw it over the defensive back. Dissly makes the grab, and they're able to get the ball into the end zone for a touchdown. So again, maybe not the most difficult play, but it's still a good awareness of saying, hey, this guy doesn't look open, but he is open. I know this throw can work, and this is kind of the advantage of having more of a veteran-style quarterback. A lot of people figured that they should go after a rookie in the draft, and listen, I'm not even saying that would have been a bad situation. I think that there would have been some logic in doing that, but the advantage of not doing that is someone like Geno Smith can see something like this. He's been in the NFL long enough. He knows that this is open. Now moving on to this play, this is another interesting one, I would say, where it's again going to be a single safety deep. And hey, Detroit Lions, your coverage units being bad, maybe put a second safety deep. That might be an idea they could use, but they're not doing that here. They have a single safety deep, and in this situation with DK Metcalf running a go route on the outside the numbers, so the safety probably won't be able to get over there right away. This is absolutely what Smith should be looking at. Geno Smith does a good job of not looking over right away, but still quickly getting to where Metcalf should be and quickly looking over and saying, okay, now is when I want to make this throw. Had a little bit of a hesitation looking up, which was smart. Keep the safety over the middle of the field. At this point, though, Metcalf is clearly open. You want to hit him. But also, look how Smith just throws a bullet there. He sees Metcalf's open, no need to lob it. Get the ball into Metcalf's hands and let Metcalf do the rest. He nearly gets into the end zone for a touchdown right there, but I think a lot of lesser quarterbacks would have also put some air under it, which would have given the safety a chance to come back and make the play, would have given the corner a chance to come back and do the play. Probably not. Metcalf is fast. You can make that work, but maybe if you underthrow it, that can cause a disaster. However, with that line drive throw, it made it a lot easier to get the completion there for DK Metcalf and for Geno Smith. Moving on to this one, this is going to essentially be a very similar thing. This is technically zone coverage, but on this play, it's a one-on-one matchup on the outside. And especially given the way that Seattle is lined up, where DK Metcalf is the only eligible receiver lined up to the left of Geno Smith. So the safety, who is, again, single safety deep, he is much higher up to the top of the screen than maybe you'd like to be when there's a DK Metcalf on the field. So again, Smith is going to take the snap right here. Smith is going to look towards the left. He sees, okay, it's Metcalf one-on-one. The safety's not over there. I'm making that throw. And Metcalf also appears to be in a good situation. He's already past the defensive back. Smith is going to make a good throw. Metcalf is going to be able to make a good catch, and they're able to pick up another big chunk play. Listen, you could easily look at these and say, yeah, Seattle's doing the right thing, but Detroit is gotta be better than that. And there's some truth to that. Like, Detroit is definitely putting themselves in position to fail. They are making mistakes. All of that is absolutely very true. But the flip side is, in offense, one thing I feel like I say all the time, it's practically my catchphrase at this point. What good football players do is take advantage of their opponent's mistakes, and that's what Geno Smith was doing here. Something like this is another interesting one, where the play concept, it's going to be a cover zero. So that means that you have one guy covering every receiver running a route. Everyone else is trying to get to the quarterback. This basically forces the quarterback to have to make a throw very quickly. So as you see, the blitz comes in, but watch Geno Smith. First off, he's a bit more patient than a lot of people would have been, but he also just finds the open guy, Tyler Lockett, and is able to pick up a big gain on that one. So that's, good stuff by Geno Smith. Again, he didn't panic the second he saw the blitz. He, knew where he should throw the football, gave it a little bit of time, and also put the ball over the middle where Lockett could adjust to it easier than the defensive back could, and that allowed them to pick up a big gain. So again, yes, maybe it's a mistake to play cover zero when you're going up against a team that has DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, but it also requires a quarterback to make the correct play on that one, and that's what Geno Smith was able to do. Finally, one last one. We're going to go over to this play. It's going to be man coverage, and you have, it's going to be, again, a receiver running just a quick slant route. So this isn't anything too fancy. Watch, Geno Smith takes a snap. It's Tyler Lockett. That's the guy who I highlighted. That's the one who is running that route. He is wide open. It's a great route by Lockett. It's a third down and short. You want to get him the ball quickly. This is not anything too fancy from Smith. He makes the throw, and they're able to pick up a decent gain. And that's kind of the main thing that I saw with Geno Smith was that, guys were getting open, and he was able to hit the open guy. Which, listen, you can certainly consider that a negative if you want to, because guys aren't always going to get open. But, if you have Tyler Lockett and you have DK Metcalf, guys are going to get open relatively consistently, so there is that. But also, there is legitimate value in the NFL for a guy who can simply just take what the defense gives you. And to me, the fact that Smith did that is not a negative, it is a positive. So I'm interested in seeing where will he go. 4 weeks in, I've been impressed with Geno Smith, but will the hot start continue? We'll have to, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.